Hello, 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 and welcome back to DLA Alternative. It's your boy Brandon, and I hope everyone is doing phenomenal as always. And thank you to everyone who keeps subscribing, liking, and following this journey. And most importantly, thank you to 800 motherfucking subs, people. We are growing this family strong, and we are on the road to 1K. So keep subscribing, liking, and following this journey with us. But yes, as you can tell by the thumbnail and title, this is an extra video that's going to be in between the other theories, okay? And this is actually going to be a Stranger Things secret video that will connect to a later theory that I was going to start way later after this, but the point is this got me on a fucking loop, all right? And I say loop for a reason. But my major point is this is actually going to be from one of the comments from one of the fam, and this is actually from Brittany's Brush, okay? And she actually asked a question on one of the other Stranger Things secret videos, and Brittany asked me to reanalyze the very beginning intro scene in Season 1, Chapter 1, The Vanishing of Will Byers, okay? The very beginning, right when we get that timestamp of November 6, 1983. So basically, Brittany asked me to analyze those cars that you see very quickly right before it shows us that scientist running inside of Hawkins' lab. She basically asked me if one of those cars was Jonathan's car, because she realized, oh, Jonathan said that he was at work the night that Will went missing and all that. And from what it looks like and from what I'm finding and seeing, it does not look like Jonathan's car, and I'll tell you why. Because in Season 1, Chapter 2, the next episode, The Weirdo on Maple Street, when we see Jonathan going to Lonnie's house, okay, we see a clear shot when he pulls up, and we see a clear shot of what his car looks like. And if you look at that car and then this car from the very beginning intro scene, if you take a look at their back windows, okay, those are different back windows. The one in the intro scene has very tiny, small back windows, and Jonathan's has like normal back windows. And then also Jonathan has that rust spot on the front end. From what it looks like from this far shot, you can't really see kind of a spot on the front hood of that car. So I'm confirming that it's not. But however, while I was analyzing this scene, okay, because every time someone asked me to review a scene, I analyze everything in that scene again, just to make sure that I didn't miss anything myself. Well, actually, I have been analyzing something completely fucking different, not associated with this scene specifically, okay? And it's actually associated with Mama again, because I'm doing some more hunting on Mama and those flashbacks and all that. But in her flashback, okay, one of the flashbacks, we see her pull up to Hawkins' lab in a car, and we see her face in that car. We just see her in the driver's seat. But right before she gets out of that car, okay, we see a shot of the interior of this car. We do not see the car specifically, all right? So basically what I did is I kind of went on a little bit of a hunt for a completely different theory and a completely different analysis, okay? And I started trying to look up what car this could be. And from what I'm finding and from what it looks like, okay, that looks like a 1978 Volkswagen Beetle, all right? So like I said, I have been analyzing this for a completely fucking different reason, okay? But if you watch and pay attention to this show very closely like I do and like Brittany does, okay? And like all of the motherfucking badass fans, so keep subscribing and get us to 1K, people. But anyways, my point is that if you pay close attention to this show, you'll know that a Volkswagen Beetle is used a lot in this show in a lot of different scenes and in a lot of different colors, okay? And I'm not completely sure if we see the exact color of what Mama's car was. And I'm not sure if when we see her in some of the other scenes, like when they go to her house, if we see that Volkswagen Beetle. I'm not sure. I have to reanalyze that. But my major point is back to this intro scene, okay? You see that car that looks like Jonathan's, and yes, it's not. But the point is me and Brittany were talking, and take a look at this other car, okay? This other car down here, it's going to be hard to see because all the letters are going over it, all right? But look at this car right here. I'll try and zoom in. That to me looks exactly like a Volkswagen Beetle. And that to me is a little odd because after I analyzed and realized that that car that Mama's in is definitely a Volkswagen Beetle, I'm not exactly sure if it's a 1978, but from what it looks like and from what I'm finding about the interior, that one looks specifically like a 1978. And this one down here looks very similar to a 1978 Beetle as well, but I just don't know the color of Mama's car, so let me know if we see that at all in this show. But however, besides the cars and the vehicles in this scene, all right, as you could tell by the thumbnail and title that this is not about vehicles whatsoever, all right? Yes, this is about time, and there's a reason why this starts off with a timestamp and why that timestamp goes over those cars in that fucking way, okay? And thank you, Brittany's Brush, for fucking leaving this comment, because I went on a reanalysis and I think I found something, people. And I think I found something that's just blatantly obvious obvious that anybody could literally see in this show that we might not notice right off the bat because these episodes are extremely separated, okay? I'm going to show some pictures in a second, but I want everybody before that to pause this video, and I want you guys to go to Netflix, and I want you to go to season 1, chapter 1, The Vanishing of Will Byers, to that intro scene and just watch it right before we see the inside of Hawkins' lab. And then real quickly, I want you to go to season 1, chapter 8, The Upside Down, and I want you to also go to the very intro scene of that and the very fucking beginning of that chapter, people. And you tell me what you see, and then I'm going to show these pictures in a second. And obviously this doesn't matter because this is a video and you could pause or just keep listening if you fucking want. But my point is look at these fucking intro scenes, people. Okay, this is season 1, chapter 1, and then this is season 1, chapter 8, and they are the exact same fucking thing. And you can tell that, people, because look at the fucking cars. And thank you, Brittany's Brush, for leaving that comment, because I would have never even noticed that unless I looked at the vehicles. And the reason I even thought to look at this last fucking chapter, okay, is because this scene just seemed familiar, and it seemed like I saw this in a different fucking scene. And sure enough, we do. We see it right at the beginning of the very last chapter of season 1. So my question is, people, is does this prove that there is a time loop, or that a time loop was created either by Eleven when she made that crack, or by when Will got put into the Upside Down, or when Barb got put into the Upside Down, or whatever the fuck is going on? But my major point is that this show starts off with a timestamp of November 6, 1983 with this exact same shot. And then this last intro scene, okay, is also right before we see the inside of Hawkins' lab, except when we see the inside of Hawkins' lab in this last chapter, this is when we see the first meeting of Joyce and Brenner, and when they are doing that interrogation or that questioning, and they are talking about all of this shit. So the main thing is about that is that supposedly 8 days later after Will vanished. And we know that because if you watch the previous theories, we talked about the Zombie Boy article, okay? And in that Zombie Boy article, it confirms that 2 days later after Will vanished, they found his fake body. And then Police Chief Jim Hopper, 6 days later, actually found Will in a cabin outside of Hawkins, okay? And we know that cabin, and like I said in that theory, we know that cabin very fucking well, all right? But my major point is that the very last chapter of this fucking season should be 8 days later, all right? So the main question is, people, is why are these the exact same shots? And nobody's gonna tell me, oh, these are the same people working that fucking night and that it's the same thing, okay? These are the exact same fucking shots, people. Just take a look at them side by side. And there is a reason that why in the very beginning of this season, why those words are placed in that fucking area. Because just look at it. You can tell that that shot from the very last chapter is the exact same thing without the words. And if you did listen to me and you paused this video, okay, and you did go to Netflix and watch those intro scenes back to back, you would realize that it starts off with that shot of the night sky and then it pans down into Hawkins' lab and to that parking lot. The only difference between those two shots, people, is that we do not have a fucking timestamp of November 6, 1983 blocking the shot. That is literally the only difference between these two shots. So let me know your thoughts about this, and thank you, Brittany's Brush, for leaving that comment. As you guys know, all of these comments send me on a motherfucking hunt, and I know I haven't done one in a while because I've been stuck on these theories, but thank you, and keep leaving your comments and your ideas. So like I said, let me know your thoughts. It's your boy Brandon, DLA Alternative. I hope you like this one. Thank you, Brittany, again, and you guys already know, we out.